I wanted to mention something, but I forgot what it was. Oh, I was telling Josh, I think a really cool like long-term character goal for me was to like I was reading the entry on Absalom, and there's like a bunch of different little thieves guilds that run around the city. I think a really like long-term character goal would be to unite and control the thieves guilds of Absalom, and by extension, the rest of the world. Because Absalom is like, it's the port, the city at the center of the world. So if I control the thieves guild and the black market there, then I've basically got a chokehold on the black markets of everywhere. So I think that'd be a really cool like long-term goal for me.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
And then in Paizo's future publications, they'll be like, this person runs all of the thieves guilds.
And it's me!
They got a portrait of your character on it with horns and everything.
That would be so awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Wow. Who knows? It could happen. It could happen.
I even like the idea of having high-level characters gain their own fame. I like having that idea.
Yeah, but it would definitely be a long-term goal, but like over time, I think that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, and not just like the city of Epsilon, but like the entire island there, because there's like 3 or 4 cities on it, I think it said. Yeah, the whole Isle of Kortos will be mine.
So we can probably get back on track here, and then we can talk about magic. That's the next category we have. Basically, how were you exposed to magic, and how did you view it? And all those sorts of questions.
Well, that's more for Leaf than for me.
Well, growing up in the elven culture of the woods, it's always just there's magic everywhere. I mean, everybody's using it. It's just everybody's doing it, so you got to do it at some point, Just kidding.
It's like the worst excuse for magic ever.
I'm making magic sound like PCP. Yeah.
Well, you are throwing glitter.
It's true.
You are a cult of glitter throwers.
It's very true.
High on magic.
No. Wow, I'm making Leaf sound more and more like a hippie the more I talk about it.
They use hallucinogenic glitter to control the members of their cult.
Oh, you're mana addicts. Oh, God. Oh.
Yeah, no, but, yeah, he was just exposed to a lot of magic just growing up, and all the adult elves used magic in some form. It was usually just, like, casual, like, day-to-day stuff. There was never really, like, intense displays of magic, really, except for, like, on festivals. There would be, like, really cool, like, things with the trees and stuff. The trees would come to life. It was pretty awesome. It was all through magic. But besides that, I mean, it was always just a household kind of item.
I like that.
Because it was there.
Yep.
Actually, I am planning on taking the rogue to do a little bit of magic in the future, though. And I've talked to you, Adam, about this a little bit. But I was actually looking, and I'm thinking I might just take, like, level 2 as a sorcerer. Like, I might just take a level 1 sorcerer, because that would get me basically everything I want there.
That's entirely possible.
Because there's an arcane bloodline for sorcerer. It basically is you basically get a familiar at level 1, just like a wizard. It wouldn't be the pseudo dragon like I wanted, but I'm thinking like raven. I could live with the raven. Make it speak abyssal, just freak people out. Yeah, I was thinking that might be the way I go with it, just like 1 level in sorcerer.
I'm going to go on a demon raven tangent right now. I have a character who basically bound the souls of, like, the least most soul of hell. So that basically the most worthless person in hell, he asked hell for that. Took it, and then bound it to a raven, and then that's his familiar.
All right, cool.
That's
my
interesting.
tangent.
I don't think I'd do a hell soul because I am chaotic good, so I want a nice raven. But I probably would speak abyssal just so that it could only talk to me.
Right.
Or like other tieflings, maybe, with a demonic heritage.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that'd be very cool. At least my attack bonus is kind of low, but it gives me magic, which is neat.
Mhm. I'm putting for Jekko's knowledge of magic that it was like around, but it was pretty distant, almost kind of like at an arm's length, and that whenever he would see magic, it would be less like magic missiles and spell books and things like that, and it would be more like the miracles, the more divine magic or the more supernatural sort of things.
That's interesting. I think that's something I should point out about Leaf is that the divine and the arcane were they were almost the same to him. There wasn't a big distinction.
There's really not.
I mean, obviously he knows now there is a distinction, but growing up there wasn't.
Yeah, I believe whenever you're playing a caster, you have to know what your character believes about magic. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, when I get magic, I'll probably be viewing it more as a tool than anything else. Basically the same as like alchemy or, a sword. It's a tool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to be really cliche, but I'd say that Leaf views it kind of like as a way of life. But less is like this is all I do. I just do magic. That's all I do. It's more like it's like his philosophy or religion sort of is like to always seek out and learn new things about magic because in his
just
mind,
so ingrained in daily life as to be inseparable. Yeah,
and it's also it's how he believes that the world works is through magic, through the arcane.
Makes sense.
So that's why he's always going after it. That's why his mind's always focused on it.
He could see it in like the patterns of life and how the planets orbit around the sun and all of the laws of nature and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like he sees like every law of nature as like a law of magic in a way because magic has its own rules that it follows and it's just like the laws of nature. So
can Arcanists learn like spells from scrolls like a wizard can?
Yes.
I can eat the spells from scrolls. Theoretically. I will not like literally eat them, but I can consume the magic and refill my arcane reservoir.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, that's kind of what
be a couple of
that's
interesting
something
side
that
quests.
That's something that distincts that makes a arcanist distinct is that unlike a wizard, they're not flowing in the specific rigidity of the laws of magic. They will take the laws of magic and usually they'll use them, but occasionally they'll perform an arcanist exploit, which lets them use their own pool of like magical energy to break the laws of magic or bend them very briefly to do something
Nice.
amazing.
Very cool.
Or that's basically how I read it. So
Nice.
it's not like a sorcerer though.
Instead.
It's like a sorcerer just gets it naturally. It's just their blood. Whereas an arcanist, it's more like they just kind of are a quick learner to it, and they're hungry for magic, just kind of like how Leaf is.
All right.
If you're kind of equating magic to cooking, wizards more like they're following the recipes and things like that. An arcanist is just throwing anything in, tasting it.
It's
All
true.
coming out delicious.
Yeah, the
Eating half of
arcanist
it
is
before he puts it on the plate.
the arcanist is cooking by taste.
Mhm.
The sorcerer would just take like a box of like Ritz crackers, throw it in the oven, and somehow they would make like a souffle.
It just happens.
It just happens. They don't. It's fine.
You want to taste it? Nah. Oh.
So basically, the Arcanist is a stay-at-home mom.
The stay-at-home mom of magic. Nice.
So my character so far is a hippie, glitter-throwing, pony-summoning, stay-at-home mom.
And a mana addict. Don't forget mana addict. Because apparently you do, in fact, eat magic. So
Yeah.
I can taste the mana.